let's see how the data intelligence template for a Python consumer pipeline looks like. The template is designed to read a machine learning model saved in the form of an artifact and to expose it to a REST API endpoint. So the Python operator that you see here loads a model binary and receives input data from the OpenAPI serverless operator. Let's have a look at how I adjusted this template for the book clustering scenario. So if I open the Python script, you see in detail how it works. So here the Python operator is receiving new book descriptions coming from some external service. The tags get preprocessed in the way we are now familiar with, so we have the tokenization plus the embedding with our open source model trained on Wikipedia, GLAV, and then the feature vectors is associated to the closest cluster, closest in our huge multidimensional space. So the results is then packaged in a JSON message and sent back to the output port. So notice that here again, the Python operator runs in the same container that we use for the training pipeline, so it can find all the required libraries. And we can try to deploy the pipeline. So notice that in this case, the pipeline it's not executed, but it is deployed. So the model will be exposed to the endpoint that you see displayed here, and it will stay there listening for requests. So when the model is running, it will take a while. We can test it with Postman. So in the pipeline documentation, you find very detailed instructions on how to configure Postman for this kind of task. So I will not bore you with these technicalities, but basically the request endpoint that you enter in Postman should correspond to the deployment URL plus an extension. So, and this depends on the configuration of the OpenAPI operator, but usually if you leave everything in the default configuration, this should be this v1 upload JSON. So now we can finally have fun testing the response of the clustering algorithm. So we can input no matter which book descriptions and see in which cluster they get classified.